Hello, it is me again. It is the great people of the Overview on your favorite radio station, Glass FM. And on this episode, we bring you another sweet and important topic that has been going on in the society and needs to be treated. My name is Nirot Kitzgak, and today we'll be talking about child abuse. I am glad to have with me in the studio, as usual, Rejoice and CG.
Okay, I'm by name Rejoice, and today we'll be taking you through with child abuse, which has been a very critical issue in our society right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sit G Danjuma Jubut, and yet on another episode of the Overview. Let's talk about child abuse. But before we talk about child abuse, let's go on this short commercial break. When we come back, child abuse will continue proper.
I want to dance for Jesus. I want to praise for Jesus. Hey, thank God, God no be man. God no be man. God no be man.
Are you looking for the best place to display your goods and services? Are you looking for how to take your business to the next level? Then let's be your plug. For sponsorship or advertisement, please call +234 3110 1001 or +234 81 288 03452. Glass FM, your number one radio station.
You are Odogu, Odogu, Odogu. You are Odogu.
Alright, welcome back from that short break. First of all, we are going to talk about what child abuse is. So child abuse is a physical, sexual, or emotional mistreatment of a child that causes a long time or permanent scar, that's both in his mind or in the child's body. And we are going to proceed to discuss the types of child abuse, because child abuse ranges from physical, emotional, sexual, and lots more. So,
okay, so I'm going to talk about the physical abuse, because this is what I've been seeing on my page lately. Physical abuse. I do not know how you go to a village and tell people that, give me your child, let him stay with me, I am going to take him or her to school. And then when you bring that person, all what you do is the person becomes your worker, a domestic staff. You don't even get to send that person, that child, to school. We are talking about child, not even an 18-year-old person. We are talking about a child that you make to cook for you, to clean the house for you, to wash dishes, to fetch water for you, to do everything. And that is a child, one child. And it is even more hurting and disheartening when you have your children and the children are not doing anything. You leave all those chores on that child.
Slave in your house.
So my own is, if you know what you are doing, if you know you have good intentions of making that child to work for you, why didn't you go to the parents and say, okay, give me your child, I want him to come and work, I want him to come and be my maid? But you said, I am sending that child to school. So why are you not sending that child to school and still making that person to work? It's more like a child slavery.
Like, if you wanted a slave, why wouldn't you just go and employ a slave?
But do you think there are parents? Do you think there is a parent that would give his child to work as a maid right now?
Nobody would, but you shouldn't come in the name of help.
So it's like an emotional. It's a deceit actually.
It's a deceit, yeah. It's a deceit.
Because the parents actually think you have something to offer their child.
Like, you mean
their
children
well. That's why they
well.
handle their child to you, because you told them we are going to take the child to school. Maybe the parents at that end were not actually capable to take them to school, so they actually think this guy or this woman is a savior that will help our child to go to school. But on the other end, they don't know that that's not what you have in mind.
Okay, so we are talking about physical abuse now. There was a story that happened a week ago or 2 weeks ago in Jos, where this, I don't know whether some of us came across this story, where this woman had a 70-year-old girl.
Yeah, she had her locked up.
She had her locked up and she traveled. She left her
For
1 week, no
over
food, nothing. And we could see the pictures. The girl really looked malnourished, and then there were scars on the girl.
Like, how How do you even come to
I wonder how
reconcile
people
this
get
fact?
to be this. I'll call it evil because
Evil,
it
yes.
is clear evil.
You leave someone for 1 week without food. So was she really expecting that she was going to come and meet her alive? That's my question.
What was
Or was
the
it even
intention?
a plan like, I want you to die, so I'm going to leave you here for a week without
the
food?
mercy of hunger and starvation, so that it's not going to be as if I killed you with my bare hands.
But it's actually a good news that a neighbor actually reported it to the police station and they got the girl, and the girl has been in the hospital receiving treatment and some psychological attention as well. So then we move to sexual abuse.
Wow, sexual abuse. Now you have my attention. Nirot, sexual abuse. This is when a child is being attacked, abused sexually, right? When the sexual body part of a child is misused, it's sexual abuse. And then there's this story I had, a practical story of someone very, very, very close. But I'll share the story with you when we come back from this musical break.
It's time for a music explosion with the hottest DJ.
Struggling to find my way, searching for a brighter day, feeling like I'm far from home. I cannot do it on my own. Nobody can understand that I need a helping hand. Feeling like I'm far from home, can't do it alone. I need you, Father, I need you, need you. Say, Father, I need you. I need you, Father, I need you, I need you, 'cause I can't do this alone. When you're looking at a finished product, just always know it was a before. It's part of my story that not too many people know. Got a chance to go abroad to school in 1998 without really having finances, yo, my fees was always late, man. Started skipping class, early signs of depression. Kept it all inside, you know what happens when suppression and sadness go together. It was recipe for disaster. Failure around the corner, my spirit was sinking faster, I failed. They shipped me back to the country, I went to secure a visa. The officer told me bluntly, she said, you failed the first time, no second chances. Everything around me crumbled and needed to find some answers. And yes, the reason I share the story is just to inspire you that my pathway from grace to glory is blessed. By the maker of all creation, I gave him my situation, he turned it to celebration. And yes, struggling to find my way, searching for a brighter day, feeling like I'm far from home. I cannot do it on my own. Nobody can understand that I need a helping hand. Feeling like I'm far from home, can't do it alone. I need you, Father, I need you, need you. Say, Father, I need you, I need you, Father, I need you, I need you, 'cause I can't stand this alone.
I hear they say that it's a weak thing for a man to cry, but when that died I couldn't hold the tears in my steady fought with temptation, wrestle within, ashamed to speak was weak, if you know what I mean. Different thoughts on my mind, I was really hurting. Expectations got me closing up the curtains. So much emotions got me drifting off the cork. Can someone help me read Ephesians 4? All these events only made me realize the failure is the man who's confused about the price. See, only you know this ground that I stand can get slippery, so Father, please hold me by the hand and walk with me. Father, walk with me. It's a fountain of peace every time you talk with me. Can't make mistake or you end up in the least, cause OAPs and blogs love a preacher man's G.
Alright, welcome back, people. We're talking about child abuse, and we looked at the definition for child abuse, where we said is when, and then we look at the types of child abuse. We talked about the physical abuse, and then we are looking at the sexual abuse. The sexual abuse. I was about to tell the story before we go on a commercial break. And this guy was just 7 years old. her name is Happy. I will probably proudly call the name because she gave me rights to share her story with whoever cares to listen. Now, this girl was just 7 years old. She was in her room on a rainy day. Her uncle. Now, that is the sad reality. The uncle.
Yes, it is so bad that right now the sexual abuse is not
It's
even
the
coming
people
from far
who
people.
you
It is
know.
coming. We've seen stories of your biological dad abusing you.
Actually,
And then what do we have? We have the mothers trying to cover up the case.
up.
Why? Because it's going to be shameful. They're going to
it's
talk
going to
about
be
my
a
family.
disgrace.
It's going to be a disgrace. So, are you going to cover up something like this for him to do more? Because he might even move on to do to other children,
find
not
the
even your
father-
child.
Don't
find
you
the
think he
father
has gone to-
threatening the girl that he's going to kill her or
Don't
something
you-
if she
don't-
gets
don't
to
you think-
let it out to anybody outside the family?
You see, don't you think he must have done this to hold other people?
That brings us to emotional child abuse. This is the verbal child abuse. It's most common usually because it's a kind of child abuse that tends to deal with constant rejection, like
from
teasing
parents,
the child, bullying
insults.
the child with what, making the child to feel worthless. Like the child will feel like I don't even want anything. You get now? The child will not even have that confidence in him to stand anywhere because right from the house, the family, they are already making the child to feel less of himself or herself.
So I do not know whether you all agree with me, but I think you agree with me that child abuse leads to low self-esteem.
Exactly.
Of course.
And some of them grow. I've heard stories of people who their low self-esteem started since when they were a child. When they were children, when someone bullies them, someone blackmails them emotionally, someone insults them, you are so dumb, you come last position, you cannot go far, you are always coming last and stuff like that, and then you grow up with that low self-esteem.
And this is quite very visible in Africa here, where we see a lot of African parents just use words on children, maybe because they think the children are too little, but I don't think there's a mind as sharp as a child's mind. A child's mind can retain a lot. Like I was just reminiscing on myself, and then it's surprising that I could remember events that happened to me when I was 6, 7, 5. Just imagine if it was something quite traumatic. If I could still remember it till date, I think it should have still stick to me.
Yes,
how about those ladies being raped on the street every day? Those people you keep body shaming, those people you keep insulting, you think those words means nothing?
Well, one thing I'm going to say is words are powerful.
Words are powerful.
Whether positive or negative.
Words
you can
action.
tell what are actions. What are something you can do for someone like me. You can do something to me. You can make an act to me and I'll forget, but there are words you say to me that I will not forget. But there are some positive words that people tell us, the encouragement we get from people that we still do not forget. But then the bad ones, we keep remembering them more than the good ones because it stays in. I don't know what to say, but it stays even longer and makes in the memory than the good words. Yeah. And then the solutions now. And I've heard cases where people talk about this abuse and then everybody is trying to talk about the person trying to find solutions to the person who is being abused. So now I want us to talk about the abuser himself. Do you think some of them do that intentionally?
Of course.
Actually, it's an intentional act.
Of course.
If it's an intentional act, does that mean that they intentionally do not want to stop the abuse?
Of course. I think it is definitely intentional. Because one, if it's not intentional, the child cries. If only there was no struggle, or there was no cry, or there was no physical effect, I'll probably say it's unconscious. But then it's visible. When you're hurting that child, when you're putting that child through that abuse, that child is physically telling you, I can't, it's killing me, but you keep doing it.
And
so I think it's
if at all
intentional.
you have emotions, you are supposed to feel it. Mostly it happens to children, people that carry children that they are not theirs. Like they don't get to have that connection with the children. Like They just like, who cares?
Like, if you feel if it's not a big deal, then put your child to it. Put your child to it. If
No,
it's
but
not a big
there are
deal.
some people that do it to their children.
To
So
their
what do we
children.
say about
but
that?
mostly at times people do it to people that are not their children.
Especially physical abuse.
And
I
then
agree with you.
children, you probably don't have any consideration for, because if you consider the well-being of your child, you should be conscious. You should deliberately want to keep your child happy. Keeping ourselves happy should be a deliberate act. It shouldn't just be a natural act. It should be deliberate. Like, I am consciously coming to the radio station to talk to you today just to keep you happy, to keep you entertained, to keep you educated. It should be a conscious movement.
Okay, so I think we've said quite a lot about the effects about the child abuse itself. So now I want us to talk about the effects on these children. The effects of child abuse on these children. And first, I'm going to still emphasize on self-esteem. Self-esteem to me starts from when you are a child. If while growing up, you didn't get people who said things that would help you grow right, you have low self-esteem.
Of course,
when
yeah.
you keep getting things like body shaming, or you this black girl, or you this fat girl, or you this dumb girl and stuff like that. These are some of the things we say to children that make them have low self-esteem.
Of course. And what we tend to forget is we don't know that black is beautiful. That when you tell this child, you this black boy, there's a way you make black look evil. But you can tell the child, you this beautiful black boy. You know,
Like,
you
can
mustn't
tell
just
the child,
make
oh,
it
my
look
black
evil.
diamond.
My black diamond.
Oh yeah.
You my fat.
Well.
Like, I would
taking life into the child.
I would forever cherish my wife. She has a fat body, but there's no day I would want to body shame her. There's beauty in every of her
There's
thick
beauty
skin.
in plus
In every
size.
of this, you know. So instead of using those words evilly, you could use it for good.
Okay, so I don't know whether the other effects. Now I want us to talk about the other effects on the children now,
Okay.
aside self-esteem.
All right.
Like, it gets to lower their confidence drastically. Like, they won't feel comfortable to stand anywhere because they will feel everybody looks at them that way.
Of course.
Like, they will not be able to stand up for themselves anywhere they go. They will get to keep staying in their shell. Like, they will not have that confidence to stand out anywhere. But that moment where you get to boost your child is going to be like, wow, back from home, like, my mom always tells me this, so I can stand anywhere. Like, when you speak life into your child.
It might surprise you to think to know that half of the guys that are involved into either drinking, using of drugs or anything were pushed by self-esteem, probably because of the things they've been hearing from people.
So you are saying one of the effects of abuse now on them is drug abuse.
Is abuse, yes. One abuse leads to the other, of course. You abuse me because I'm a child. There's something I can abuse, because it's natural for us human beings to just take our aggression on something. I mean, if you slap me because I cannot slap you, I'll look for the fastest person I can slap just to transfer the aggression. So you abuse me, and then it's a long time memory and it's killing me, and I don't want to die through that memory. So I look for a better thing.
And then you abuse drug.
And you abuse drug. Because there's this sense of levitation. You just tend to levitate. It keeps you floating. You just want to keep remaining in the sky. That is why people just can't get off drugs. Some people just keep on using it every day because they just cannot do without.
And I will say another effect of child abuse is that it makes them become that thing you were doing to them.
Of course, now
we've seen cases of rapists who, when you hear their backstory, they say, I was once raped.
Monsters you've made.
You get monsters you make, and then they are doing the same thing.
You actually made me and pushed me into doing that same thing I'm doing at the moment.
And it's sad to know that people are doing this consciously. That someone would want to just destroy your life consciously. Like, why would I tell you this thing you are doing, it kill me, but you go continue? What is your problem?
That is a very bad thing. So now we're going to talk about the solutions to this thing. I don't know whether the children who are facing this abuse can really do something, because they are mostly threatened not to speak. But now I want us to talk about the solution to someone that is witnessing it, like a neighbor. If you know this is what is going through, what are some of the things that you can do to help the child?
I think one of the best solutions is speak.
Speak out, no matter what.
Communication is key. People might see it, but people won't understand. They said, "Nah, person with the wear should know where the shoe dey pain." You are going through this situation. You don't just imagine that people can just run to your rescue if you don't talk. Now, your talk might look useless the first time you do it, but don't just give up. Keep on talking. Keep on talking. Now, you're the one feeling the pain. The pain is coming through you. I think you shouldn't just let the pain kill you. Talk to someone.
Even that's including the child that is being abused.
Yes.
You can also talk
You
to
should
someone.
find someone you can confide in.
In fact, if you cannot confide in anybody, just reach out to us on our post. Reach out. Just tell us you have something. We'll definitely put you through somebody you can talk to.
I also feel that they could promote like programs in school where they get to teach children, because you can find out that some of the children who can be in the school also gets to like teach them how to speak up,
Just
like some
encourage them to
strategies
speak
where
up.
they can be able to speak up to
Because it's
people
not easy
and they will
to
find
silence
help.
your mouth. There's this Nigerian film I watched. This lady now, I think she was raped, and since she was raped, she has sworn not to speak about it. So she claimed to be deaf or dumb, that she could not speak. She just, and so she was dumb for a very long while. And at the end of the day, when she gets to speak, you find out that the speech came with tears because it's been long.
It's been long.
It's
She's
an
been
act.
keeping it.
It's an act.
She has been piling it up.
So, it was nice having you here talking about child abuse. And to you, our listener, please, we encourage you to always speak up.
Always
speak up. And please, let's be careful with our words. The words we use with people. Do not body shame anybody. That chubby girl is beautiful. That black girl is a black diamond.
Actually,
Slim
God
girl,
knows.
you're priceless.
Actually, God knows why He created everybody that same way.
Size
He
you
did.
get.
I'm
And there's-
actually trying to tell God that He didn't know what He was doing when He created that person the way He did.
And the word for the day, what I'm going to leave all of us with is, you do not have the power to look the way you are, but you have the power to command the world to see and take you for who you are. You do not have the power to look the way you are, but you have the power to make the world to see and take you for who you are. It was nice. I hope you enjoyed yourself listening to us just like we did in the studio. CG and Rejoice. It's always a nice time having you
Absolutely.
here.
It's always
Nice
nice.
time with
It's always
you.
nice with you, Rejoice. And it's always nice time with you, Nirot. Especially you listening. It's always our pleasure. It's because of you we are all here, seated talking about this place. And please do not forget, always trust and believe in yourself. Esther, you're not too short. You're not too dark. Precious, you're not too fat. You are always the way you are, and you're beautiful in your creation.
Okay, you can reach us on our Facebook handle at Glass FM, Instagram at Glass FM Radio Station. You can also reach us as Twitter at
Glass FM.
at Glass FM at Glass_FM. Email, and also at our email at glassfmtv@gmail.com. And the phone number you can reach us through is +234 812 880 3452. I'll take it again. +234 812 880 3452.
You can also reach out to us concerning any adverts that you have. And don't forget, tomorrow we will be bringing you Street Vibes. This is an entertainment show where we get to bring you all the street G's going on.
Yeah.
Thank you for having you. See you on our next episode.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.